Hi guys, my name is Tahila the Tech Guy. Welcome to my second YouTube video. Thank you for supporting the previous one. Thank you for liking, commenting, and watching. You guys are amazing, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. So today we will be looking at variables and data types part 1. We're doing this in parts, folks, so that we have more fun with this. And we're going to have more fun because it's in parts because we're going to do like a part 1 and a part 2, maybe even a part 3. Who knows? All right, let's get started, y'all. What is a variable? A variable is a name storage location in the computer's memory, which is assigned a literal value. A literal, a literal is a value that is written into the code of a program. An example of literals are values like 5, 6.4, and false. False is a Boolean literal. We're going to learn about Booleans later, maybe in part 2, maybe in part 3. I don't know, but as soon as we get there, we will know. It's going to be great. All right, since we know what variables are, let's go. Let's dive deeper into what a variable is and how we use it. What will we do today? Today, we will learn about variables. We will learn how variables work. We will create a variable of type integer and make a program demonstrating what we learned in VS Code, Visual Studio Code, because we are Visual Studio Code gang, Visual Studio Code fanatics, Visual Studio Code people. That's what we do. We don't use IntelliJ because we're better than that. I'm kidding. I use IntelliJ sometimes. It's very good. Shout out to JetBrains. You made an amazing product. So how do we create a variable? Here's the basic format of it. It's a data type and the name of the variable. So the data type basically tells the computer what type of things will be stored in this variable. So in this example, we have an integer variable named number. It expects integers to be stored in this number variable. Nothing else could be put there. And we can only store one number at a time. So what does this mean? We have declared a variable of type integer called number. This means it's a memory location that only stores one integer at a particular time. What is an integer type? Number literals that don't have a decimal point. Like if you're a math enthusiast and you like a discrete math with all those definitions about stuff, you probably know this already about integers. But anything that doesn't have a decimal point, that can be considered that could be considered. How to give a value to a variable. So let's remember int number. So option 1, at creation, immediately when we create this variable, we can just give it the number 5. Int number is equal to 5. That means everyone in the code will use the term number. The code will know it's an integer value that is 5. And we have option 2, literally anywhere else, given that you declared the variable first, because you can't use something that doesn't exist yet, right? You can't use something that doesn't exist. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, folks. Here we keep it like int number. Then we could have random code. Random code. That's doing something somewhere. And then at the bottom of that random code, we could be like number is equal to 5. And like that, we have created a variable of number 5. But the thing about this is that like within the random code, this number has no value. So we can't use it to use 5. But as soon as we give it the value 5, everywhere underneath where we're given the value 5, we can use that value 5. Because before this, number has nothing in it. It has nothing in it. So when you use it, it will have nothing in it. Probably just 0. So here are little facts about variables. We can access them from anywhere by name after creation if it's within the scope of the code. The scope of the code. So for example, if it's created under public static void main, it can be accessed anywhere within its braces. Let's remember that these are called braces. They're not curly brackets, so they look like curly brackets, but we will call them braces from now on because we are now young coders going into the world and we will call these braces, okay? So anywhere within the braces and underneath int number, we can use the variable name number anywhere within the braces. Anywhere outside those braces, number is inaccessible. Anywhere outside main, if we made int number in main, anywhere outside that, we can't use it. We can't touch it. It's invisible. We can't see it. We can't see it. Can't see it. Can we see it? Can't see it. We can use them to solve math problems. For example, num1 is equal to 3, num2 is equal to 2, int sum is equal to num1 plus num2. System out dot print line sum. This will print out value. This will print out the value 5 on the console because we're adding num1 and num2. So this because we could use this for many things. We can use this to make our mathematics more simple. Instead of having just random numbers in our code, we can solve it just like this. We can give our variables names and know what the code is solving, and it helps us understand the code better. So as we will go through variables and data types, so we'll learn that, okay, having names that make sense to us will mean that when we come back to the code later, we'll understand what we did. Or when we look at someone else's code and they name their variables properly, we will understand what they were doing and be like, oh, okay, this what's going on here. We can change the value of the variable at any time if it's the same type of value. Remember, same type of value. So if int num is equal to 2, we can change it to num is equal to 3 in a different line. And this will change the value of num from 2 to 3. So this could be useful. This is why it's called variable, because it's variable. We can change it literally. We can just change the value of it, given it's the same type. We're going to go through one coding example today to practically see what we've learned today. I hope this video made sense. So we're going to use VS Code as usual, because Visual Studio gang gang, gang gang. So we're going to do this from the start because I don't know if you got it last time. So here we will create a new file, okay? And then we'll go and save as. And then I want to save it in my desktop actually. Variables program. And then we will name it var program. And never forget this dot java. This extension is always important. So if you remember from last time, I wish we were together so that we can say together like in the class. We start with public class. And remember, the class should have the same name as the file, var program, and braces. Then next, we need the main method, public static void main string args. Then from here, let's create our variables. Okay. Int num1 is equal to 2. Int num2 is equal to 3. Never forget the semicolons. And then sum int sum is equal to num1 plus num2. System dot out dot print line is equal to the sum. So as you know, per usual, what we will do here is going to view and put on the debug console, and we'll go to terminal. Then we'll go here. Then we'll click on our var program. Then we will open it in terminal. Then from here, we will say Java C var program dot Java. Java var program. This line is to run the code. So let's go. And as you can see here, the answer is 5. Let's try some other fun things in variables. Let's see what happens if we print out num1 and num1 doesn't have a value. So we'll just remove this and we'll say num1. So again, we will say Java C, our program. Wait, variable num1 may not be initialized. Okay. Okay, so what basically happened here is that the program failed to compile because we didn't initialize the value. What happened here is that the program didn't run. It run the old version of the program where it was adding num1 and num2 because we did not initialize num1 in the beginning. So Java needs you to give your variables values. So this should be fixed if I say num1 is equal to 0. And if I do this, and then if I run it now, see, it says 0 because that's the value we gave it here. And as you can see, we gave it a value after we created it. Okay, guys, this is the end of our little video today. I'd like to thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting. Don't give my love to nobody else. I want it all for myself. I'll risk it all for you, girl. I'll give it all for you, girl. Hey, girl, look, you fascinate me.